And without further ado, I want to introduce our next and first guest, Stuart. Let's see, Stuart, are you around?
I am.
Okay, nice. Very good to have you.
Thank you.
You do seem like a lovely chap. You mentioned that that you'll be a lovely chap. You are here to discuss exactly one of these things that I've just been speaking about. The key to unlocking the full value of AI, being not just in technology, if not perhaps like not entirely in technology, but in product. This is something that I've believed in for a very long time, but I have a feeling that you will be much more articulate in being able to explain this in your perspective. So the floor is yours. I will be back in 10 minutes. And you need to share your screen, right? I think you got it.
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
Can you see it? Yep, okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you. I'm Stuart Mintertier, Head of AI Product at Geneos. We haven't got long, so if you want to find out more about me, please do go on LinkedIn and find me. The first thing is, why are we talking about connecting AI to value? I can't be alone in seeing the plethora of articles that are rising up, lamenting the lack of ROI on data and AI projects. And I want to make it clear from the outset, I am not blaming data teams for this. Many of them have been set up for failure. They're siloed and cut off from the wider business and from the market, treated as waiters at a table. And I just want you to know that I do not blame data teams for this. My thesis is, just because we can research and build it doesn't mean they'll come. I think the startup world is evident of that, the failures in the startup world. The core part of my thesis is product strategy, not technology, is the key to winning with AI, and I'll expand on that, of course. Focus on the problem we're trying to solve. We love to solutionize, but sometimes we just need to kind of dig down on what the actual problem is, and business outcomes and customer value first. So how do we go about thinking about this? This is the product quartet. I love simple frameworks. It's a system of asking ourselves questions to try to drill down on this. Now, desirability really focuses in on the customer side. It focuses in on the problem side. Will this create value for the customer? Will this solve the problem? And will it create demand in the market? Viability is the business side. Are we in sync with the wider business strategy? Can we create defensible moat? And note, defensible moat is not just technological. It can be pricing, packaging. It can be the story that we tell, branding, and so on. So don't just think about technological. And is there a measurable ROI for the business? Feasibility is going to be more common to us because we're looking at the technological advantage. Can we build, support, scale what we're proposing to build? And the new one is datability. Do we have access to the data, and is the quality good enough? It used to be the product triad, now it's the product quartet. Moving on to the product mindset in general, generative AI, looking at opportunities. I say the flaws are the opportunities. I don't just mean the flaws in processes and workflows, but also the flaws in generative AI itself, large language models, things like security, privacy, governance, hallucinations, those sorts of things that will be solved through the use of small language models working in concert with large language models. A lot of opportunities there. Data is not the new oil. Oil is depleted when it's used. Whereas data is regenerative. In other words, it doesn't get used up. It actually starts to gain more data as we create data products, which will lead to more innovation and better products. I believe in democratizing AI innovation from the bottom up, from the frontline workers. They know their workflows. Rather than penalizing the use of generative AI, we need to surface it up in a safe way so that we understand how they're using it and why they're using it. And it's a good opportunity for us to do discovery. And opportunities to augment humans far greater than automating existing tasks. I would much rather focus in on, getting my employees to be 10 times more productive with generative AI than look to offload 10% of them. I'm sure you'd agree. Looking at innovation, the Western linear mind loves a straight line between here and there. Innovation is not like that. Very often the best we can do is the next right thing based on the incomplete data that we have. And with that comes a lot of ambiguity and unknown. So large project plans, large, grandiose product roadmaps don't work in true innovation, and that doesn't make everybody comfortable. I was boring my wife in the car on one of my product monologues, and I was talking about products that are solutions in search of problems. And my wife asked me why this was the case. And I said, the problem is often not the problem, that's the problem. What I mean by that is we need to spend time in the problem space. What is the problem? What is the context of the problem? What's the problem under the problem? Is the problem the real problem? Really understand that before we jump to building and solutionizing is very key. But having said all that, we still need to know the grand vision of where we're heading. If we're heading nowhere, we'll find it. Challenges in generative AI, hallucinations of a feature, not a bug. That's a hot take. We love the nature, the unexpected things that happen with generative AI, and the emerging capabilities, but we have to be very careful in our use cases, especially in critical environments. But we're not in that deterministic rules-based world anymore. We're in the world of probabilities, and that's a good thing. 90% of pilots are not going to production. This is a disconnect again between data and the wider business. We must have the two connected together in order for the pilots to be shown to generate value and get buy-in. And I would just want to mention hype. I love this quote from Amara's Law. We will see, and we are seeing, a degree of dissatisfaction and disappointment with the ROI on generative AI that will not lead to an AI winter. And we cannot underestimate the massive impact that this will have, which I believe will be huge. Just a quick note on trust and transparency. From a product perspective, I love this slide. It's not mine, but I love the way it's broken down into technology and humans, architecture and communication. Explainability on the architecture side, very, very important, not just for us as builders, but also, if possible, to have explainability for our customers as well. Why did the model make this decision? Feedback loops, incredibly important that we can give our customers the opportunity to feedback to us when our models go wrong. It helps them in participation and gets rid of frustration. And connected with that is education and transparency, letting our customers know what our models can and cannot do. And UX, one of my favorite parts, this will be transformed from second or third to first place. Multimodal and hyper-personalization is going to take center stage, and moving from app to get tasks done will be over. I believe that we'll see a single pane of glass through generative AI orchestrating the back, and I look forward to it. Strategy, have a clear vision for how we deliver measurable business and customer value. So mature KPIs, we can prove our ROI and get buy-in. And I say it over and over again. The human API, this came from MIT and McKinsey, the connector and the translator. This is the role that connects data to the wider business. I believe the product is well positioned to be able to take this role, to be honest, but they have to be able to speak the language of both business and data. Not an easy task, but a vital thing to have in place, in my opinion. Product strategy must ladder up to the business strategy and goals. I've seen it when it's disconnected and the products, the prototypes, they do not deliver value to the business, and they don't get buy-in. The two must be connected together. And this is really important. Monetize incrementally in the near term. Quick wins, quick value, show the business, get the buy-in, then we can start working on the big plans and the big goals that we've got. Has to be done. Technology is the last mile. This is what I'm saying. Product strategy is the first. That's my thesis. That's the core of it. And I love this quote from Andy Sutton because it doesn't come from the product world. It comes from the analytics world. I've been doing this analytics thing for over 20 years now, and I thought I'd seen it all and got the t-shirt. But the product approach and the enormous value it can unlock genuinely excites me. And me too. That's why I'm doing this talk. There's so much value to unlock. I know this has been very, very rapid. I probably should have taken the 20-minute talk rather than the 10-minute. I do speak about this and these themes a lot on LinkedIn, so please do find me there. And I'm always happy to do a more expanded talk if there's any interest in it. So thank you so much for listening. And I was determined not to be the one to go over time. So I've done it. I've done it.
No, you're good. Stuart, thank you very much. I do want to hear more. It feels to me like if only I had spoken to you like 15 years ago, you would have saved me maybe like a decade of my life.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean, definitely.
Unfortunately, like you get to really appreciate all of these things that you just said after a lot of scars and a lot of
pain. A lot of pain. That's how it's learned. I know. Tell me about it.
And I also feel like I have a new tattoo idea. I'm gonna get it on my forehead. The problem is often not the problem. That's the problem.
My wife understood what I meant. She's the only person
my
on
God.
earth that would. It was amazing. Yeah, bless.
Brilliant. Stuart, thank you very much
Thank
for joining
you.
us, and we'll follow you on LinkedIn. Absolutely.